Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this special seminar on how to choose between Thesis 2.1 and Genesis 2.0 for building your website. Now, the last time I did this seminar was about 18 months ago or so. It was before either Thesis 2 or Genesis 2 had come out. And now that they're both out and in full force, it seemed like it was time to do this thing again. The seminar is specifically for the purpose of helping folks make it the right decision for themselves on which of the themes that they should use to build their next website. And it plays a role in my ordinary teaching system in that once I get students to a certain place in WordPress, I want them to be in a position to make the right choice between Thesis and Genesis. And since the playing field has changed since the last time I did this, I'm doing it again with an eye for helping folks make that decision. So today we're going to take a different approach to comparing Genesis and Thesis. You know, the typical method when you see these kinds of things in a blog post or an article or something like that, or even the last time I did it, is to compare features between the two themes. And we're not going to do that this time. You know, perhaps the quintessential theme comparison site is WordPress.org, right? Where if you go into their themes and choose their interface here, you can pick colors and pick column layout and pick features and that kind of stuff, and then find the themes, and then you're going to end up with a list of themes that have all these different features. From my perspective, that's not a particularly useful way for a small business owner to make a decision like that. So it's not going to be a conversation about features primarily. And there are a lot of potential pros and cons between Thesis and Genesis that lots of people talk about. You know, some of them are philosophical or are based on personal WordPress or coding bias. In my opinion, most of the pros and cons that get discussed really have no bearing on making a business case for this choice. What we're going to try to focus on is what criteria you as a small business owner or as a web designer are going to use to determine which one to use to build your website. And so today what we're going to discuss is first the fundamental differences between the two that might influence your decision, the availability of high quality designs that you can use along with them, their built-in SEO features, the availability of third-party add-ons, which can extend the functionality or customization ability of the themes, the ease of customizing the appearance of a site, the ease of customizing the functionality of a site. Those are two distinct and separate things. And then the learning curve for learning how to use them properly. Now, when I'm done with that, I'm going to make recommendations for three specific groups of users. First, my primary target audience, which is a beginner looking to build their first website, or a website or the first time that they built the website in a long time. That is somebody who's not already conversant with the material. Secondly, for the DIY website builder, which is actually, I think, where most of my members fall. And then thirdly, for web designers, because there's different criteria for each of these three types of users. And so I'm going to make recommendations at the end for each of those three user groups.